Potato chips, North American and Australian English. Often just chips or crisps, British and Irish English, are thin slices of potato or a thin deposit of potato paste that have been deep-fried, baked, or air-fried until crunchy. They are commonly served as a snack, appetizer, or side dish. Basic potato chips are cooked and salted. Additional varieties are manufactured using various seasonings, flavorings, and ingredients including herbs, spices, cheeses, other natural flavors, artificial flavors, and additives. Potato chips form a large part of the snack food and convenience food market in Western countries. The global potato chip market generated total revenue of US $16.49 billion in 2005. This accounted for 35.5% of the total savory snacks market in that year, which was $46.1 billion overall. History. The earliest known recipe for potato chips is in the English cook William Kitchener's book, The Cook's Oracle, published in 1817 in London, which was a bestseller in the United Kingdom and the United States. The 1822 edition's recipe for potatoes fried in slices or shavings reads, "Peel large potatoes. Cut them in shavings round and round, as you would peel a lemon. Dry them well in a clean cloth, and fry them in lard or dripping." An 1825 British book about French cookery calls them pommes de terre frites, second recipe, and calls for thin slices of potato fried in clarified butter or goose dripping, to be drained once crisp and sprinkled with salt. Early recipes for potato chips in the U.S. are found in Mary Randolph's Virginia Housewife, 1824, and in N.K.M. Lee's Cook's Own Book, 1832, both of which explicitly cite Kitchener. A popular legend associates the creation of potato chips with Saratoga Springs, New York, decades after the first recorded recipe. By the late 19th century, a popular version of the story, today known to be untrue, attributed the creation of potato chips to George Crumb, a cook at Moon's Lake House, who was trying to appease an unhappy customer on August 24, 1853. The customer kept sending back his French fried potatoes, complaining that they were too thick, too soggy, or not salted enough. Frustrated, Crumb sliced several potatoes extremely thin, fried them to a crisp, and seasoned them with extra salt. To his surprise, the customer loved them. They soon came to be called Saratoga chips, a name that persisted into the mid-20th century. A version of this story was popularized in a 1973 national advertising campaign by St. Regis Paper Company, which manufactured packaging for chips, claiming that Crumb's customer was Cornelius Vanderbilt. The story is today known to be a myth, and historians and academics have identified a number of problems with the story. Vanderbilt was in Europe during the alleged encounter. The Moons didn't purchase the lake house until 1854, and crispy fried potatoes were not unknown to Saratoga in 1853. However, the story remains frequently cited in popular media. Production. Homemade potato slices are deep-fried in hot oil for several minutes. In the 20th century, potato chips spread beyond chef-cooked restaurant fare and began to be mass-produced for home consumption. The Dayton, Ohio-based Mike Sells Potato Chip Company, founded in 1910, identifies as the oldest potato chip company in the United States. New Hampshire-based Granite State Potato Chip Factory, founded in 1905 and in operation until 2007, was one of America's first potato chip manufacturers. Flavoring. See also, salt and vinegar chips, dill pickle chips, ketchup chips, and all dressed. An advertisement for Smith's Potato Crisps. Since 2010, air frying has become a popular alternative to deep frying, including in the preparation of homemade potato chips. In an idea originated by the Smith's Potato Crisps Company Limited, formed in 1920, Frank Smith packaged his chips in greaseproof paper bags and attached a twist of salt, and sold them around London. The potato chip remained otherwise unseasoned until the 1950s. After some trial and error in 1954, Joe Spud Murphy, the owner of the Irish crisps company Tayto, and his employee Seamus Burke, produced the world's first seasoned chips, cheese and onion. Companies worldwide sought to buy the rights to Tayto's technique. Walkers of Leicester, England, produced cheese and onion the same year. Golden Wonder, Smith's main competitor at the time, also started to produce cheese and onion, and Smith's countered with salt and vinegar, tested first by their Northeast England subsidiary Tudor, and then launched nationally in 1967, starting a two-decade-long flavor war. The first flavored chips in the United States, barbecue flavor, are also traced to 1954. In 1958, Hare's was the first company to introduce barbecue-flavored potato chips in Pennsylvania. Packaging. In the 1920s, Laura Scudder, an entrepreneur in Monterey Park, California, started having her workers take home sheets of wax paper to iron into the form of bags, which were filled with chips at her factory the next day. This pioneering method reduced crumbling and kept the chips fresh and crisp longer. This innovation, along with the invention of cellophane, allowed potato chips to become a mass-market product. Kettle-cooked chips. Kettle Chips redirects here. For the brand, see Kettle Foods. Kettle-cooked chips. Chips were long made in a batch process, where the potato slices are rinsed with cold water to release starch, fried at a low temperature of 300 degrees F, 150 degrees C, and continuously raked to prevent them from sticking together. Industrial advances resulted in a shift to production by a continuous process, running the chips through a vat of hot oil and drying them in a conveyor process. Some small producers continued to use a batch process, notably in Maui. In 1980, inspired by the Maui chip, an entrepreneur started Cape Cod potato chips to produce thicker, batch-cooked Hawaiian-style potato chips, which came to be known as kettle-style US or hand-cooked UK chips and became a premium, gourmet item. Kettle chips are thicker and the surface starch is not rinsed off, resulting in a style of chip called hard bite. Nomenclature. A Bangladeshi version of potato chips, marketed as potato crackers. Little consistency exists in the English-speaking world for the name of this food. North American English uses chips, though Canadians may also call French fries, especially thick ones, chips as well. Crisps may be used for thin fried or baked products made from potato paste. An example of this type of snack is Pringles, which are marketed as potato crisps even in the United States. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, they are called crisps, whilst chips refers to French fries as in fish and chips. In Australia, some parts of South Africa, New Zealand, India, and the West Indies, especially in Barbados, both forms of potato product are simply known as chips, as are the larger home-style variety. In the north of New Zealand, they are sometimes affectionately known as chippies. However, they are marketed as chips throughout the country. In Australia and New Zealand, a distinction is sometimes made between hot chips, fried potatoes, and chips or potato chips. In Bangladesh, they are generally known as chip or chips, and much less frequently as crisps, pronounced kirisp, and locally aloo bhaja. In German-speaking countries, Austria, Germany, Kartoffelchips, often shortened to chips, Switzerland, Palms chips, and in countries of the former Yugoslavia, fried thin potato slices are known as chips, locally pronounced very similarly to the English pronunciation, with a clear distinction from French fries. In Brazil, home-style potato chips are known as batatas portuguesas, Portuguese potatoes. If their sides are relatively smooth and batatas prussianas, Prussian potatoes. If their sides show a wafer biscuit-like pattern, whilst American-like industrial uniform potato chips made from a fried potato puree-based dough are known as batata chips, potato chips, or just chips. Health concerns. Most potato chips contain high levels of sodium, from salt. This has been linked to health issues such as high blood pressure. However, researchers at Queen Mary University of London in 2004 have noted that a small bag of ready salted crisps contains less salt than a serving of many breakfast cereals, including every brand of cornflakes on sale in the UK. Some potato chip companies have responded to the long-standing concerns by investing in research and development to modify existing recipes and create health-conscious products. PepsiCo research shows that about 80% of salt on chips is not sensed by the tongue before being swallowed. Frito-Lay spent $414 million in 2009 on product development, including development of salt crystals that would reduce the salt content of Lay's potato chips without adversely affecting flavor. Unsalted chips are available, for example the long-standing British brand Salt and Shake, whose chips are not seasoned but instead include a small salt sachet in the bag for seasoning to taste. Many other popular brands in the United States, such as Frito-Lay, also offer such a product. One health scare related to potato chips focused on acrylamide, which is produced when potatoes are fried or baked at high temperatures. This discovery in 2002 led to international health concerns. Subsequent research has, however, found that it is not likely that the acrylamides in burnt or well-cooked food cause cancer in humans. Cancer Research UK categorizes the idea that burnt food causes cancer as a myth. In August 2008, California Attorney General Jerry Brown announced a settlement with Frito-Lay, Kettle Foods, and Lance Inc., the makers of Cape Cod potato chips, for violating the state's Safe Drinking Water and Toxic Enforcement Act. The state had alleged in 2005 that potato chips from these companies failed to document that they contained high levels of acrylamide, which is listed by California since the 1990s as a carcinogen. These companies paid fines and agreed to reduce acrylamide levels to be under 275 parts per billion. Many potato chip manufacturers attempt to remove burned and thus potentially acrylamide-rich chips before the packaging process. Large scanners are used to eliminate chips worst affected by heat. Regional varieties. Main article, list of potato chip brands. Americas. In the United States, major regional brands include Jay's, Better Made, Old Dutch, Utz, and Zapp's. In Canada, regional varieties include all dressed, dill pickle, and ketchup. Ketchup chips are flavored with tomato, garlic, and onions. In Colombia, lemon, chicken, chorizo, and sirloin steak with mushroom sauce flavored potato chips are sold. UK and Ireland. In the United Kingdom, Walker's makes crisps with popular flavors as cheese fondue, barbecue and rib, and sweet chili. In Ireland, the word tato is synonymous with potato chips after the Tato brand and can be used to describe all varieties of chips, including those not produced by Tato. Asia. In Japan, flavors include Norishio, nari, and salt, consommé, wasabi, soy sauce and butter, garlic, plum, barbecue, pizza, mayonnaise, and black pepper. Chili, scallop with butter, teriyaki, takoyaki, and yakitori chip flavors are also available. Major manufacturers include Calbee and Koika. In Hong Kong, the two prominent potato chips are the spicy, Ethnican variety by Calbee, and barbecue by Jack and Jill. In Indonesia, potato chips are commonly called keripik kentang and traditionally fell under the keripik category. The major brands are Indofood's Citato, since 1990s, and Lay's Frito-Lay. In 2014, Japan's Calbee and Indonesia's Wings Food formed Calbee Wings, a joint venture and marketed Patabi potato chips offering two flavors, beef barbecue and grilled seaweed. Lay's potato chips sold in Indonesia are available in 6 flavors: honey butter, sour cream and onion, nari seaweed, beef barbecue, classic salty, and salmon teriyaki flavors. In 2018, Citato launched 3 unusual flavors: beef rendang, fried crab golden egg yolk, and mango sticky rice. Bowl of pizza-flavored chips in Japan. Triangle potato, chips with Indian spicy flavors. Similar foods. Pringles potato crisps are uniform in size and shape, which allows them to be stacked. Another food made from potatoes, notably the Pringles and Lay's Stacks brands, is made by extruding or pressing a dough made from dehydrated potato flour into the desired shape before frying. This makes a product that is uniform in size and shape, which allows them to be stacked and packaged in rigid cardboard or plastic canisters. Pringles are officially branded as potato crisps in the US. Pringles may be termed potato chips in Britain to distinguish them from traditional crisps, but do not meet the definition or standard of identity for potato chips. Munchos, another brand that uses the term potato crisps, has deep air pockets in its chips that give it a curved shape, though the chips themselves resemble regular bagged chips. An additional product similar to potato chips exists in the form of potato sticks, also called shoestring potatoes. These are made as extremely thin, 2 to 3 millimeters versions of the popular French fry, but are fried in the manner of regular salted potato chips. A hickory smoke-flavored version is popular in Canada, going by the vending machine name Hickory Sticks. Potato sticks are typically packaged in rigid containers, although some manufacturers use flexible pouches, similar to potato chip bags. Potato sticks were originally packed in hermetically sealed steel cans. In the 1960s, manufacturers switched to the less expensive composite canister, similar to the Pringles container. Reckitt Benckiser was a market leader in this category under the Durkee potato sticks and French's potato sticks names, but exited the business in 2008. In 2014, French's re-entered the market. A larger variant, about 1 centimeter thick, made with dehydrated potatoes is marketed as Andy Capp's Pub Fries, using the theme of a long-running British comic strip, which are baked and sold in a variety of flavors. Walker's make a similar product, using the Smith's brand, called Chipsticks, which are sold in ready salted and salt and vinegar flavors. Some companies have also marketed baked potato chips as an alternative with lower fat content. Additionally, some varieties of fat-free chips have been made using artificial and indigestible fat substitutes. These became well known in the media when an ingredient many contained, olestra, was linked in some individuals to abdominal discomfort and loose stools. Although made from corn and not potato, Monster Munch are called crisps, potato chips in Britain. Many other products might be called crisps in Britain, but would not be classed as potato chips because they are not made with potato or are not chipped. For example, Wotsits, Quavers, Skips, Hula Hoops, and Monster Munch. British restaurant critic Tanya Gold argues that Monster Munch is absolutely not a crisp. Sweet potato chips are eaten in Korea, New Zealand, and Japan. Parsnip, beetroot, and carrot crisps are available in the United Kingdom. India is famous for a large number of localized chip shops, selling not only potato chips, but also other varieties such as plantain chips, tapioca chips, yam chips, and even carrot chips. Plantain chips, also known as chiffles or tostones, are also sold in the Western Hemisphere from Canada to Chile. In the Philippines, banana chips can be found sold at local stores. In Kenya, chips are made from arrowroot and cassava. In the United Kingdom, Sweden, Finland, and Australia, a new variety of Pringles made from rice was released in 2010 and marketed as lower in fat than its potato counterparts.